Hello and welcome to our webinar. Today we are ready started we'll discuss the inflation, perhaps the most important data of this moment. This one will be going to announced tomorrow in the United States. Some time ago, we analyzed the inflation and most relevant component that we saw. We couched my attention first of all was this break performance of correlation traditionally occurred since the beginning of 2022 between the performance of treasury and price of gold. Currently, we have a gold that is already over 2,300, close to 300 per troy ounce. But the most worrying thing here, that or what best draw our attention, is started previously at seeing how the performance of bonds is beginning to perform somewhat inversely with the performance of the price of gold. Gold, like several commodities during the last 3 weeks, has been increasing. And here I'm talking not only about, but also about oil and some other commodities. Look, for example, at happening in the price of agricultural commodities. This chart shows us perhaps preview that what could happen with the inflation. There, what line shows the basic inflation and in the United States, and the red line shows the calculation of commodities related to the agriculture, particularly in the United States. And look, from the end of 2023, today, there has been increasing close to 21%. Since the previous month, we have already seen the inflation risk. The flame could rekindle that we analyze everything related to gasoline and energy. Let's remember these components of inflation and where is one begin and the particular increase, but that we have already seen. Let's say in real terms, if at one of the commodity side, this same trend is also being observed. Let's say like upward. When the Federal Independent Business in the United States analyze and ask the small business owner in the United States what could be one of the bigger problem when it comes business growth, notice that they highlight again the inflation, definitely. And here is why I'm seeing if when they ask them, look, we're seeing the inflation here at the end of 2023, perhaps they not concerned. At some point, they're everything talking about the quality of quality labors could be the bigger problem. But look, the last survive, which is the blue line. Here is concerned the forward inflation will generate some problem for the development of their company. It is also a bit of part of the small business owner. So not only we're seeing it like say in real terms as we have seen here, agricultural price of commodities like gold, but also small business people are starting to worry, and what this indicates suddenly they are going to start raising rent, suddenly bank loans are going to be higher, and will not be able to get a loan for working capital. That type of situation that we saw last year could perhaps start to generate their concern. Tomorrow data will be super key. And the last chart that I want to show you today to finish this inflation analysis is the chart that we have analysis like most, and what to do with the gas station price, which is the orange line here, which you see that are basically one of the blue line that is inflation, and the pointed is the expectation. Look what happening with the gasoline, which is almost in real time. It's near to 3.60 average in the national level. But of course, shows in the last month a little increase here. So yes, we are insistent on this point because many things will definitely definite tomorrow. We are insisting that is indeed real problem with inflation that is materializing and begin transferring to different commodities The small investors, small business owners are worried about because the flame of inflation may be increased and that energy prices are in general terms are increased as well. However, we are already seeing that inflation data for the previous month, this problem continues could generate higher increase than expected, that the minutes of Federal Reserve from the last meeting are also going to be released this week. And although they are data that the market could have already decided that what is going to happen in the analysis of the inflation. Let's say tomorrow after data is released, which already clarifies our position regarding this. There is clear expectation that could ever see higher than expected data. On the other hand, how the new inflation data is coupled with the Federal Reserve minutes will lead to determining however the fear right, is beginning to exist on the part of some operation that there will no longer be gasoline power of determination by Federal Reserve to reduce interest rate 3 times this year. If this reaction is this way, we will obtain the market should begin to contract, a correction should continue, and new fears will be fueled about the future performance of the S&P and consequently the rest of the stocks. I hope that the first part of the inflation and our position are clear. On the other hand, what do we have, or what is the second essential component and this start of this week? You have much data here. The earnings release start this week with Delta Airlines, perhaps Wednesday, but look here, Friday, we already have the beginning of the robust delivery results of the larger companies of the financial sector in the United States. So we have JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Citi, and State Street, one of the biggest fund managers of the planet. This resultation begins from the point of view we remember that had to do with the delivery of the results is while continues focus Magnificent Seven and the 7 most biggest company in the United States. Let's remember that happened with the Apple. Let's remember what happened with Tesla, and I have to the market this month is going to focus in corporate results, but most important in the Magnificent Seven. So let's catch the attention, all the information that we receive of this. Okay, go ahead and let's see that the Fear and Greed Company Index calculated by CNN shows that the most biggest investor, just 73% feel comfortable with the performance of the market. But really, if you see before, like 1 month ago, just remember that we had 75% numbers like 75, 78. So the people are start to be more cautious at this moment when the market is choppy. Let's see how the portfolio react this week, okay? First, remember, we are list near to 4%, but here is important just clarify that we just chart our success fee for the first quarter of this year. So we have like a start data. And when you see the performance to our portfolio from beginning in 2019 to today, just 5 years, we have 165% compared with 99 of Standard & Poor's. Now we have 30% of our portfolio in technological sector, 26 in consumer cycle, and the most important bet in this moment are Amazon, Google, and Visa. This is the principal participation in our portfolio. Now, when we move to technical view, technical analysis of what were happening right now in the market, let's see, is between this range 5,000, 5,300. This is their first range. But let's see here is the GSI, called GSI indicator. It's similar to RSI, the typical RSI, between 70s and 30s level, and shows the market maybe goes to exhaust And this key point here is maybe start to go to finish and this bullish trend, and the real potential risk is we start to see a new blue levels, maybe for the tomorrow data or for the earnings data on Friday. Maybe the market have the risk to move forward to this next zone between 4,200 and 4,600. It's like 5 to 10% risk right now in the markets of correction. The most important thing real is see how the CEOs and managers could be interpreted the inflation data of these weeks and minutes of Fed, and how they expect the performance the market for the future. Just remember for finish the driver for the next day. First of all, is the CPI data of the market expect to rise a little near to 0.4%. The investor just will check the minutes of the Federal Reserve last meeting of March, and all related with inflation will be take the time for the investor this week, as well the earnings of the financial sector on Friday. Just for finish, remember this is the performance metrics of our portfolio the last year, or the last the last 35 days. We have return of 33% compared with the 28% of the S&P. Our principal stocks that we helped with making money this month are Nvidia, Meta, and Disney. Just for finish, please read the disclaimer. Read the disclaimer, it's very important. And thank you so much for having me. Thanks for having the time. See you next week. Bye bye.